Hello guys, over the last few months, one project is taking a lot of hype in Laravel community, which is NativePHP. With that, you can now build desktop apps and mobile apps, iOS and Android with PHP and our beloved Laravel. So, when NativePHP for desktop and mobile have reached version 1 officially, including iOS and Android, we got interested and decided to test it out. Especially looking at people from the community creating something, like David is creating something with NativePHP. Here's an example from Jigar, also working with NativePHP for mobile. Also a video from Tendai here on Twitter. So the hype was real. And after we released 2 courses on mobile development with Laravel, which is Flutter and also React Native, recent one, it was a very natural continuation of that topic to try out NativePHP for iOS and Android. So in this video you will see a demonstration of NativePHP kind of overview done by my colleague Modestas, who is also the author of both of those courses. He kind of became a mobile dev department on Laravel Daily, so now he will appear in the video format too, so it's not just me. You will see another side of Laravel Daily, another person, and yeah, he will give you the overview of NativePHP. Disclaimer, NativePHP is not free, but we do not get paid for this video. We're not affiliated, we just got the licenses for testing. Now, let's take a look how to create mobile apps with Laravel and PHP.
Do you see the mobile application on the right? This has been written in PHP and Laravel, based on a Laravel 12 starter kit. You can see the code on the left, and we can even go and edit a transaction with a native select and a native date picker. This is possible with the new NativePHP. It allows you to create Android and iOS apps without learning something like React Native, Flutter, Kotlin, or Swift. Just good old PHP and Laravel framework. In this video, I will show you how NativePHP works. Technically, NativePHP transforms the mobile view of your website into an application. In other words, you just create a mobile-first responsive design with Tailwind or Bootstrap, and then install NativePHP and build it as a mobile application. For example, here's the website, and if we go into the inspector, click on the mobile view, we can see exactly how our website will look once we build it with NativePHP. Technically, NativePHP transforms the mobile view of your website into an application. In other words, you can just create mobile-first responsive design using Tailwind or Bootstrap, and then install NativePHP and build it as a mobile app. For example, here's a website, and we can check with Inspector how it will look once we build a mobile application out of it. So this is exactly what we will see once we build iOS or Android apps using NativePHP. In other words, you don't have to change anything in your Laravel code. You just need to take care of the CSS for your mobile responsive view. As you can see, it even works with Livewire and Flux UI library. Under the hood, NativePHP takes your Laravel code and compiles it into a static version, then ships it to the application and uses a special server inside of it. The server can be treated like Laravel Herd, which runs applications with a static precompiled library. The principle is the same, but in this case we get mobile applications instead of a local dev environment. To use NativePHP, you install it as a package into your Laravel application using composer require. Let's do that. Go into our terminal and enter composer require NativePHP. While it's doing that, it's important to note that NativePHP is not free. You need to purchase a license, and you will need to enter the license key during installation. Currently, these are the prices, but they will go up on May 31st. We're not affiliated and we're not getting paid for this video. But NativePHP creators gave us a few licenses for testing and for this review, and they were very kind to answer quite a few of our questions. Next, when the composer require command is finished, we have to do a few more steps. First, we need to add a few keys to our environment file. And once that is done, we can run the native install. So let's do that. When running this command, you will be prompted to select a platform you want to install. You can select Android, iOS, or both. In this case, we pick both. Once the command finishes, we can see that everything is installed and we can create our own applications. So let's see it in action. To start the demo, all we have to do is run php artisan native run. So let's do this. Once we run this command, it will ask us which platform we would like to run. Remember, we installed both. In this case, we will select Android. Then it will prompt us to select a build type. We will select debug. And last, it will provide us with a list of emulators we have installed. In our case, we have Pixel 8. Let's select that. And the boot process is going to start, which we can see happening immediately on our screen. Now the application is being compiled and soon it's going to be ready for us to use. As soon as the application boots, we will be greeted by our welcome page of Laravel. In this case, we're logged in. We can just go into our dashboard, which is empty. But from there, we can open the navigation and navigate to our categories. We have the same list as we had in our web browser's mobile view. And from there, we can go into transactions and use the application as needed. One thing to note here, on first launch, you will not have your users created. Even if you have your seeders in place, they will not be running. This is because the compilation process does not run seeders. And this is one of the limitations on NativePHP. To solve this issue, we have created a migration that seeds basic data. It creates a user, some categories, and some transactions. That's the way you will have to seed your basic information. Finally, we have to mention that NativePHP is not just a mobile view with some CSS. No, they are actually working on a custom PHP extension that they ship the applications with. This allows you to get access to native APIs, and at this point they have API support for camera, biometric IDs such as fingerprints or Face ID for iPhone, vibration motor, GPS, push notifications, and some other nice native UI elements. But if you feel that your application needs more than that, just wait, they're hard at work bringing you new features with updates.
So yeah, thank you Modestas for the demonstration. After this demo, what do you think about NativePHP? Will you use it? What pros and cons do you see? And let's discuss everything in the comments below. We may continue that topic with NativePHP. Just tell us what interests you, and will you want to proceed with more videos or even full course about NativePHP. That's it for this time, and see you guys in other videos.